I'm sure you have seen these ads popping up everywhere.
Here are 3 steps to a slam dunk visual hook that got me views like this.
With over 75,000 students enrolled in their current TikTok and Reel Creator course, 1P Creative has absolutely been dominating the online ad game. And it's a huge thing for me to say because I don't say that often. Their approach blends education with entertainment, making their ads both informative and super engaging and fun to watch.
It's time to get out of your living room.
A truly unique ad strategy in today's advertising landscape, if you ask me. In today's episode, I'm thrilled to welcome 1P Creative's co-founder, Meg Jackson, to dive into their secret behind their success.
And I was like, it's January. By my birthday, June 2nd, so 6 months, I am going to grow to 100,000 followers on TikTok. Can we approach this completely differently?
So buckle up and let's get started. The future of marketing is going omnichannel. Really nice to have you on the Omnichannel podcast. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to chat with you today. I think this is going to be really fun.
Yes, for sure. So the reason why I have reached out to you and invited you to the podcast was because I was scrolling on Instagram, usual story, and I came across one of your ads. And I didn't even care what you guys were selling, but I'm like, I'm just going to follow this account because the ad is so much fun and it's just so engaging that I'm just creatively geeking out over the account. So I'm just going to follow it anyway. I don't care. I want to see these ads. So that's how I felt. So tell me about 1P Creative, the genesis of the company. I just want to learn more about this whole.
Yes, definitely. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, thank you. That's such kind words. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with our ad strategy for sure. So I really appreciate you taking notice and enjoying them. So a little bit about 1Peak. So I'm one of the founders of 1Peak, and we are a online education hub for content creators, marketers, small business owners who are looking to improve their video strategy. We launched our first online course in September 2023. The TikTok and Reels Creator course, and we've quickly grown it to almost 75,000 students in the past year, which is crazy. We've seen a lot of growth, but that's not where 1Peak started. We've definitely gone through a few evolutions of our business. My husband and I founded the company back in 2015, and at the time we were both marketers. So we started 1Peak as a marketing agency, doing everything from social media management, graphic design, website building, and slowly started kind of dipping our toes into the photography space. And it wasn't until 2019 that we decided to kind of go all in on video production. We brought on our now business partner Connor at that time, and we went and pivoted into a video production agency. And so when we were first starting out in the video space, we were working with a lot of local small business owners, helping them with their video strategy, but then very quickly grew to working with national brands like Expedia, Fairmont Hotels, Doritos, PepsiCo, doing national brand campaigns, not just for social media, but also for TV broadcast. And so, yeah, started that in 2019, ran that until 2023. We ended up, the reason we pivoted into the online education space is we were just burning ourselves out. Like, we were on set doing like 3 to 4 productions a week, on set for 10 to 12 hours a day. It was exhausting, exchanging our time for money. And so we wanted to find a way to package our expertise in the video space and see if there was a way that we could reach a broader audience to share what we had learned, not only in the video space, but in the content creation space, which we had seen was absolutely exploding. So yeah, that's kind of the long-winded answer, but that's 1Peak, and yeah, that's who we are today.
I love the long-winded answers. And can you tell me why the name 1Peak came to mind? Was that your original name with the marketing agency?
Yes. So we've kept the same name through our entire journey. A big piece of that is my husband and I just love the outdoors, where we did a lot of like backpacking and stuff when we were first kind of like starting the business. And so, yeah, that's kind of where the name came to be. I feel like there's always one of our little like taglines is find your peak. Like there's always a new threshold, a new mountain you can cross, whether that's in business or whether that's as a creator. So felt like a good name.
So your background is in marketing, right? And then
Yes.
how was that process for you to pivoting into photography space and then to video creation?
I feel like anytime you pivot, it's very scary for sure, especially when it's a skill that maybe you haven't fully mastered yet. But I think as entrepreneurs, I don't know if I can speak for everyone, but for myself, like when I have a pull to go towards something, I've always been under I kind of have this philosophy that if you just jump both feet in, you'll figure it out. And so that's kind of what we've done every step of the way of the business. Is if the business wasn't lighting us up anymore at any stage, it's like, okay, where can we jump next to really enjoy what we're doing every day? So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And thank you so much for sharing all of that. So,
Of course.
I want to go and kind of talk about the creative process because I don't know if you have studied some of the like what's been out there, like advertisement wise specifically. But I do find the way that you guys are creating those videos and ads to be outstandingly good. You know, it's not like a boring ad that you see on TV or even on the internet, but it's outstandingly good. So
Oh,
what was
thank
your
you.
what was your inspiration behind that? And how did you get into the point where it's so creative, it's so engaging? Like, what was that process?
Oh, well, thank you. It's funny. That's not where we started when it came to advertising for sure. So when we launched our course, the first thing we did is look at what everybody else was doing in the online education space. And a lot of people, and there's still tons of people doing it today, were sitting behind a desk just telling you about their product and how it was going to change your life. And so when we first started, that's exactly what we did. We thought, hey, all of these amazing people that we look up to, that's how they're marketing themselves, that must be working. That's what we're gonna take a swing at it with. And so that didn't perform great, to be honest. It it didn't work as well as we thought it would. And so we thought, okay, let's take a step back here. Can we approach this completely differently? Can we, instead of trying to like educate people and jam facts down their throats about our product, instead, can we just entertain them and let learning be something that's kind of happening almost subconsciously while they're watching? And so that's kind of where we've taken our ad strategy, is always coming at it from the perspective of, first, we want to entertain people. Next, we want to provide them some really impactful value, and then we want that sell to just be so soft, where they're buying into us as humans and relating to who we are and to where our students are at when we're bringing like case studies and stuff into the mix. But then, yeah, just really trying to make it approachable, fun, make people laugh, keep it entertaining instead of just trying to sell them right off the bat or to jam information in their face, because that doesn't work at the end of the day.
There's a concept called infotainment. And I don't know if you know Jump Cut. They're an LA-based company, and they also like talk about like infotainment, when you mix entertainment with information and just like
Yes.
nice mix, right?
Yeah, so we call it edutainment over here. Education and entertainment. Same
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah, exactly. Same concept. But
Same concept.
we teach that a lot in our courses for sure. So yeah, we call it edutainment. And that's really like the winning mix. But I think it's always leading with entertainment.
So who is the mastermind behind those random, like, even the script is so random, but like the clip, like who is behind like the fish tank, and like, that is like who's doing that?
Oh my goodness. I like to think that Glenn, Connor, and myself are very collaborative in the creative process. We all definitely have our strengths. More so like approaching it where it's like, instead of being like, we need to follow this like A to Z playbook, how can we just keep people engaged, entertained throughout, and what visuals could we bring in, and then how can we build the script around that later? So it's almost thinking about like, what could we visually put on the screen that's going to pull people in, and how can we build our script around that? We find when we take that approach, it works really, really well for us.
So it's always the visuals first, and then you think about what the script is gonna be like.
Yeah, and sometimes we do it the opposite way, but I find that thinking about like what can is visually going to stimulate people, and then how can we build the script kind of around that.
So the Uber story, for example, when you were in the car, like those that came first, and then you built the script around that as well.
Mm, it's hard. That kind of ad is a little bit, that is kind of more of like an ad like brand piece format, whereas the ones that we do for our course are very different. So that one we would have built the script out first. I feel like I'm really confusing your audience here, but it's kind of different when it comes to like creating like that was more of like a brand ad, whereas like when we're creating like an edutainment style ad for our products, I find that we like to think about like what does the audience want to see, and then how can we go from there. It's really exciting. We're actually going to be launching a brand new course in January called the Video Ads Academy, where we're going to be taking people through exactly how we create our ads and what that looks like. So I'm really excited for that.
That's very exciting. What is your favorite ad that you've ever done, whether it's on the infotainment side, or whether it's on, edutainment side, or whether it's on the just for one peak? Is there anything in specific that you feel like that was so much fun to make?
That's a tough one. I feel like, honestly, anything that we're creating for our courses right now is really lighting me up, because we have complete creative control since it's our product that we're marketing. I find it's just like the shoot days are just so fun. Like we're literally laughing so hard. Like you bring up the fish bowl. Like I literally take a fish bowl full of water and like fling it at the camera. My husband got like drenched in that moment. Like we keep it really fun, and we keep it really lighthearted. So I feel like any of those ads where we have full creative control, I'm really enjoying making.
How long does it take to shoot like a 1 minute ad?
Oof.
Depends on the
It totally depends on like contextually what's happening in the ad. It ranges for sure. But we like to try, and this might be a little bit crazy, but we like to try to shoot everything in a day if we can. So we'll typically start in the morning and try to wrap by the afternoon. And we choose our locations very strategically, so we can try to accomplish it in that. And yeah, we find that works really well for us. We're typically putting new ads in market every couple of weeks, so we have like quite a quick cadence there. So we want to provide as much value and entertainment as we can, but also not be like spending a week producing an ad. We'd like to try to do it as quickly as possible, but as effective as possible.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you about, so here's one thing I noticed about your company and your brand specifically, is that you actually embody what you teach. So you're not just like selling the course, but you have your own Instagram, you have your TikTok's account. Like all of you individually have your own accounts that you are creating content for.
Yes.
So that is so unique to me, that when you're embodying your teachings, and we can check the numbers are behind you. It's not just that you're making shit up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely was intentional, where it's like, if we're going to be teaching people how to make organic content and eventually teaching people how to create ads that convert, we need to have proof in the pudding. We need to practice what we preach. Creating an organic strategy for ourselves to like prove that we knew what we were talking about was definitely intentional. I remember when we were starting to build out the framework for the course, I set a goal for myself where I had never posted a personal TikTok before. Like we'd helped our clients and stuff with videos, but I'd never done it myself. I'd had Instagram for forever, but TikTok just wasn't something personally I had done. So I set a goal for myself where I was like, I think it was January, and I was like, it's January. By my birthday, June 2nd, so 6 months, I am going to grow to 100,000 followers on TikTok. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I've never done that before, personally, but I'm going to try. And so that's using everything we teach in the course. I'm going to follow the framework to a T and see if I can do that. And I think it was by like the second week of May, I had passed 100,000 followers. And I think I had accumulated almost like 80 million views, which is crazy. And I think by my birthday, I was at like 115,000 or something. And so I could say, hey, even if you're starting from ground zero on a brand new account, this can work. And so, yeah, that was a really, and at the same time, Connor, my business partner, was doing the same thing on his golf channel, and I think he grew his to like 50,000 or something, was getting millions of views. Like it was really important to us to be able to practice what we preach, because yes, we had helped our clients do this, but personally, for people that were creators that we wanted to take our course, we wanted to make sure that they could really like look at what we were doing and be inspired by that. So yeah, that was definitely very intentional.
And you know what I want to add to this is that you didn't just create a TikTok and did a random thing. You actually built it around who you are, right? So it's not just like you doing like throwing things to the wall and like getting like attention that is like a weird attention like you see those kids doing, right? Or dancing around. Like it's more like Megan in its entirety. Like how can I build that and right?
Exactly. It was really intentional. I wanted to share like Glenn and I's crazy life as parents and like who we are as people, and hope that other people, that whether they're parents or not, were just inspired by our like relationship. Really, it was what it came down to. We kind of were in the like couple niche, which is like a very interesting niche. If you haven't like gone down that rabbit hole on TikTok or Instagram, it's really cool to like, I just love being able to like have a little behind the scenes look into people's lives. And I feel like even if I don't know them personally or have any connection, like if they can entertain me and they are providing me some sort of value, in our case it was in the value of our videos was like, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna see a funny reaction or see a challenge that we do with each other. And so yeah, our goal was just to be able to entertain people and to bring a little bit of laughter into their lives, and it ended up working really well for us. So yeah, we do definitely try to create as much content as we can, because I think it's important to be able to also learn as well, like to be continuously learning, continuously pushing ourselves, seeing what works, what doesn't. I think it's really important to, especially if this is what we're teaching in the space, to kind of stay on top of it and keep ourselves fresh.
I want to go a little bit behind the business, if you don't mind sharing.
Sure.
Are you running your own ads? Like, is it something that you do? Or do you have someone, an agency that you work with that are doing all those things for you?
Yeah, so I'll share a little bit of our ad journey. So when we were launching the course last September 2023, we first started a bit before that experimenting running our own ads. So prior to this, we hadn't spent $1 on marketing our marketing business or a video production agency. So the thought of like dumping money into ads was kind of scary. It was like, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? Will it pan out? And so when we first started, where our expertise shines is on the actual like ad creative side of things. We had never run an ad before in our lives before launching this education company. And so we started by like spending $50 there, $100 here. Oh, maybe we'd get a course sale, but then the next day it wouldn't do so great. So we were like very emotional advertisers, where we would have like a laser vision on the numbers and be kind of like pulling the triggers of like turning ads on and off based on that. And so we realized very quickly that we were not ad specialists and we needed a little bit of help. So we had a friend locally who had run a media buying agency, and we asked if he would help us out. And I remember, oh my gosh, I remember sitting down at our first coffee meeting with him, and him looking at our product, looking at our numbers, looking at all of the things, and kind of taking a step back and going, yep, I think I could scale this for you guys to spend like $10,000 a day on ads. And I think I almost barfed. I was like, sorry, what? $10,000 a day? That's insanity. Like, we'd just like dipped our toes. And he's like, no, I think I could scale this thing. You have a product that is really marketable to such a wide range of people, whether they're creators, small business owners, or marketers. I think we can scale this thing. And so that's exactly what he helped us do, is slowly started increasing that ad spend, and we kept pumping out really great creative. And now we're spending upwards of like $25,000 a day on ads, which is crazy.
And right now you're feeling like really good about it. It's you getting your ROI.
Yeah, exactly. And like one thing he taught us is like all you need to do is be able to turn $1 into $2. Like if you can just simplify it that much to be like, That's all I need to be able to do. Then you're profitable. So I think having that perspective shift too was really big in the beginning. And yeah, it's been a really crazy, fun journey for sure.
Love that. I purchased one of your courses because of the ads, and I was like, I'm going to interview you, so I might as well do my market research and actually buy the product. So when I was on the page, I'm like, okay, let's buy this. And then, some upsells here and there. And then next page, some upsells here and there. And then I'm like, I really need to have some self-control here because I'm going to do. But I love how that's intentionally built up to like, you might need this too and that. And so is that also the ad agency that has been putting all that together, or is it you guys?
So we've done all of that kind of like back end stuff. Like we're doing all of that in house. We definitely like have brainstorm sessions and stuff with our media buyer to kind of like test new things. Everything is A/B tested. So all of our landing pages are A/B tested. What upsells we include in the sequence, like everything. So we've kind of narrowed it down to a formula that works really well. And then when we go to introduce a new product into our product suite, like for example the Video Ads Academy in January, then that as well will be A/B tested on how we're going to position that and the type of upsells, order bumps, and stuff that we'll include. So again, we were so new to the space, like we knew nothing. I think when we first launched, we had no order bump, we had no upsells. It was like, here's a course, hope you like it. So now we've grown it to more of a little bit more robust strategy where we have a lot more products that we can offer our students and help them in specific areas. So for example, like we noticed a lot of people were really struggling with their hooks. So it's like, hey, we can build a mini course all about just like perfecting that first 3 to 5 seconds of your videos. So we created the Art of Hooks course. Or we had students reaching out being like, this is all great, but like I'm just really not confident showing up on camera. So we created a course called Comfy on Cam to help people like get over that like mental block of like getting in front of the camera and sharing their stories. So we kind of turn to our community a lot to be like, what is it that you need, and can we create products that can help support you no matter what stage of your content journey that you're in.
And I think you're doing it the right way because you're listening to clients' demand, customers' feedbacks, and you're building on that instead of experimenting with something that you don't even know if they want or need, right?
Totally.
Yeah, I love that. And
Thank you.
what do you think? And I want to go a little bit on your students and like what are the things that you're seeing in the space? Obviously, having contact with them and creating courses for their demands. So what do you think as a creator that are just starting out in the space, wanting to do reels and then monetizing them for a living? What are the biggest mistakes that you see that people make in creating their first shorts and reels?
Yes, I say oof because there's a lot of things kind of fluttering in my head right now. But I would say the biggest mistake that I see creators make is that lack of a strong hook at the beginning of their video. It really is so important because the algorithm rates how well your video is going to do and who it's going to push it further onto based on your watch time. If people aren't making it past the first 3 to 5 seconds, then your watch time is going to tank. And that means that all of the effort you put into creating this awesome piece of content is going to go down the toilet, which sucks. So we say really focus your time on perfecting that first 3 to 5 seconds. We actually say you should be focusing like 80% of your time of creating the piece of content should focus on that first 3 to 5 seconds. It's funny, like if you go we have a private Facebook community that comes with our course. And so people are always sharing videos in there, getting feedback from other students. It's a really cool like collaborative process. But when I'm scrolling through there, I do find that like the majority of the videos that are shared, like they're good videos, but it's the hook that's lacking. And I think a big misconception that people have around hooks is that you just need to deliver like a bold statement to camera and you're gonna like blast off into viral land. But unfortunately, that's just not how it works. So I'll share an example of something from like my own experience where I found that I really kind of like where it first kind of like hit home for me the power of a strong hook. So a few years ago, my husband and I and our little one went on a trip to Tofino, which is like a surf town out here in BC where I'm from. And I had all of this like beautiful footage from the vacation when I came home, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna post this really cool reel. Everyone's gonna like see this beautiful place I went to. I'm gonna like stitch all of these videos together, have a nice voiceover. It's going to be awesome. So I posted the video, crickets, like got not a ton of viewership. I was like, oh, this is odd. I thought this was really great. But then what I realized is I didn't give people, like, people weren't making it, like, you can actually go into your insights and see where people are dropping off in your video. And I noticed that after, like, the first 3 seconds, people were out of there. So it's like, I wasn't giving them a reason to stick around to see all this awesome footage that I had. So I decided to take another whack at it and think about, like, how could I spark curiosity about this vacation? And so one interesting thing that happened on the trip was that we found out that, I think she was like a year and a half at the time, our little one was scared of sand. So we had spent all of this money on this like extravagant vacation to this surf town, beach town, and we get to the beach and our daughter hates sand. Like, awesome, this is great. So I thought to start the video with, my daughter has a phobia I've never heard of before, and it absolutely ruined our beautiful vacation. So right there, just that change of instead saying like, come with me on my trip to Tofino, instead using a hook that sparks a bit more curiosity, that video went on to get, I think it's almost at like 2 million views. So just that little difference of bringing in that curiosity factor makes just like a wild transformation, and it can really happen overnight. It's quite quick. Once you understand being able to spark that curiosity, it'll totally transform your strategy. And I love seeing students have big like overnight wins like that.
I love that. And how about your daughter? Does she like sand now? Is she okay
She does.
with it?
Yeah, she's good now. Now she's just like obsessed with the beach. We go all the time. But yeah, that was a tough pill to swallow because I remember I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for her to like take her steps on the beach and this and that. And I put her down and it was just like screaming. Oh no, it was a long week for sure.
Love that. And you said, so we need to spark curiosity in the way
Yes.
we start our videos. Is there any other way we can start, or is it always that we need to lead with curiosity? Is it like, because you mentioned like shocking factors are like not the best to start.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because there's a lot of different ways to spark curiosity. It can be like visually what people are seeing on the screen. Do you have something that's kind of jarring that's coming up that they're like, oh, what's going on here? Can you include like a really compelling like text block hook that like shows like states something that they might be interested to learn more about later in the video? Can your actual caption of the video hint to something later? I'm kind of nerding out right now, but there are a lot of ways that you can spark curiosity in your hook. We actually call it like the 5 elements of a strong hook. It's not just like the statement you say to camera. There's actually like 5 different ways that like while a viewer is scrolling, you can capture their attention, which is really cool.
I love that. And I think one of the main course that I purchased, there is an extra like hook PDF that is very
Yes.
helpful because you guys are actually giving like an insertable sentences that I can just apply to my own stuff. That is like so easy to just like, implement and plug in my own stuff. And I am running an own marketing agency, so I apply everything to my clients. Like first, I'm
Yay!
like, let me check if this is working. And to be honest with you, like it does. And I used some of the hooks in the description. It was basically to show a location of a new restaurant in a mall, but it was like I think the caption was something like. You might be wondering where is it, and with like an eye emoji, like a question.
Ooh, love that.
And then the guy was like, I was, speeding up the clip as he was walking, and then people watched all the way to find out where is it. And then
Yeah.
some of them they go like, I watched all this way, and you guys like took the longest route because we literally took the longest route. But anyway, it was funny and very effective.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're able to utilize what we've taught and that you've seen results. That's really cool. Love hearing that. I love hearing any student win.
Yeah, I was happy to share that with you. So, about your growth, like, do you have any plans for? Obviously, you talked about the video editing course or
The Ads
video
Academy,
ads
yeah.
Academy.
Yes, that's coming. Any other growth? We are going to be launching a group coaching program very soon, which I'm so excited for. So that's been something people have wanted from us since we launched. But as a small team of 3, it's definitely hard to fulfill when you've grown a community of, we're nearing 80,000 students, which is crazy. So we are going to be launching a group coaching program. We brought on a new director of coaching who's going to be helping us facilitate that. Very excited about the group coaching program. I think it's going to be great, and I think there's going to be a lot of really great actionable ongoing tips in there for our students that they'll get a lot of value out of.
I was just about to ask if you have any like higher touch point programs, because I'm like, I love that the courses are like self-paced and there is the community, but I'm like, I feel like, some people need more of that instant feedback. And also, maybe, I don't know how most people are, they buying courses, but they never actually implement it. So I think for those reasons, I think getting that implementation part and just that instant feedback is very important to have that type of support, like group coaching support.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Maybe eventually we'll do like more one-on-one coaching down the road, like a higher ticket offering. But I think for now, group coaching, like I just love the idea of community and being able to like not only learn from like experts, so because we'll be bringing in like guest speakers and stuff too, which I'm really excited for, but also to just learn from one another and to be able to like lean on other creators, help keep each other accountable. Like I think there's something really special about that. So I think the group coaching is going to be really cool, and I can't wait to see how it evolves.
Me too. I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your insights. Is there any lesson that you'd like to share with the listeners? Maybe one piece of advice?
Ooh, oh my goodness. Again, I feel like I have so many things floating around in my head. I think one piece of advice would be I think one big thing that's been floating around the marketing space for years is that you need to be like posting all of this content all of the time and just like huge volumes of content. Post 3 times a day, this and that. But if you can focus on the quality of your content rather than the quantity and like really be intentional with like the value that you're providing and the caliber of content that you're creating, I think posting just even like 1 to 3 great pieces of content a week rather than like burning yourself out trying to post a ton of content every single day, you're going to see success quicker that way, because you're going to be able to really fine tune your craft and find those formats that are going to be a slam dunk for you, and then put all your eggs in that basket and your growth will just explode. So that would be a big piece of advice I have.
Thank you so much, Megan, and thanks so much for coming and sharing your insights.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you so much.
How can people find you on social media? I'm going to put everything in the description, but you can also tell to the listeners.
Sure. So you can follow us at One Peak Creative, TikTok, Instagram, and then our links to our websites are there as well. So that's the easiest place to find us.
Yay. Thanks.